Recycling has the power to deliver a host of climate, economic, and waste management benefits. But today, U.S. recycling isn't performing at the scope and scale that it needs to achieve this. As America Recycles Week kicks off, the Recycling Partnership wants to arm us with tools and tips to help fix recycling. Joining us to explain, we have Ms. Keith Harrison, CEO of the Recycling Partnership. Welcome.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here today.
Yeah, happy to have you on. So I wanted to ask you, why does the U.S. recycling system need to be fixed?
Well, we all know about recycling, right? We've learned about it in schools. And in fact, in our studies, 80% of the population think that recycling is critical to a more sustainable life. But the challenge is not everyone can. Even in California, in the Sacramento area, we know about 78% of the population has recycling on site. That means either in their multifamily home, their apartment building, they can drop it off, or in a single family home, they can roll out their cart. That's a really high access rate, but it's still not everyone. Across the country, numbers can be even lower. So the first challenge, if we're going to deliver a stronger recycling system, is to first make sure that everyone can recycle, and then we can dig into it from there.
And why doesn't everyone have access to recycling programs?
Well, there are 9,000 different recycling programs across the country, and until recently, there was no common legislation to build consistency about recycling. California is one of 4 states, however, who have passed recent producer responsibility bills that are meant to level up consistent recycling. Those bills mean that if you're a company selling something into the state, the packaging that surrounds your product has to be recyclable, and that there is a common approach to making companies that sell in the state part of the solution for delivering a better system. So we're excited about the progress and the focus of what's to come for recycling. And we think that people in the Sacramento area can expect that not only will there be more opportunity to recycle, more things will become recyclable.
Yeah, and how are companies addressing these challenges currently?
Well, you see some companies making claims about recyclability. They want to make sure they're using more recycled content. Now, it's our job as the public to make sure that those claims are made true. We want to make sure that companies are really leaning in. And in California, the producer responsibility bill that was recently passed will do just that. So making a pledge is a first step, then walking the walk is the next one. And that's why companies partner with us. As a national nonprofit, it's our job to work in thousands of communities across the country, building stronger recycling programs. Their contributions to nonprofits like ours helps deliver on those goals.
I like that you mentioned we got to be able to walk the walk. So how can policy make a difference?
Policy makes a big difference in making it consistent. Right now, across the country, recycling programs are run by local governments. That means 9,000 different recycling programs are at the hands of decision makers who have to struggle with their local budgets. Where do they put their dollars to work? Policy can make sure that recycling isn't on the back of taxpayers. It's been affected and funded by the companies who are making the things that we all want to recycle more.
Any final tips for us as we celebrate Recycling Week?
Yes, as we go into the holidays, there's going to be a lot of stuff around us. So remember that recycling is one critical part, but reducing what we buy in the first place, reusing what we can, that's even more critical. Then recycle all that's left.
All right, all important tips to know. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, and for more information, you can visit recyclingpartnership.org.